make it open. I have a few questions to ask about the movie. First, I think the concept of African finance is might be a bit alien to some of us, not because they're not interested. There's a lot of stuff that goes into finance, stock exchange, there's a whole lot that goes into it. And then seeing you talk about how it pertains to every African. I mean, every African, whether you're an artisan, you're a tech bro, a taxis, whatever it is you are directly contributing to the African economy. So I just want you to give maybe a brief background to the AfCFTA. Let's just know what's all about.
Okay, so Kwame Nkrumah 60 years ago, when they call it the Organization of African Union, where all African countries came together to form a bloc, he said that we should have a single market. The idea is that we will start producing here instead of we are an export-dependent country. So instead of exporting things from other countries, why not us having one market? Produce, add value to our raw materials. So that was the idea. So he said that, and then I think 30 years later, Thomas Sankara said the same thing. So now I think that we have come to a full circle. The 45 countries decided that they are going to ratify the agreement, so that now instead of you to buy imported material from outside the continent, you can buy cotton from Togo, you bring it to Nigeria to add value to it, and then you sell it to Kenya. So the idea is really to take away the export mindset and make us more productive. And I'm very excited because we have a lot of young people in the room, and I don't think that we are prepared for what is ahead. When you do not add value to the natural resources that you have, you are heading into poverty. Every time you import something from outside this continent, yet you are exporting jobs. So we are all going to be jobless at the end of the day. And then there's one reality check, and I like to tell my friends that when you go into your house, how many of the things in your house was produced here in Nigeria? Even the clothes that you even wear. So the day that we begin to start looking inward and say, we should, in our small level, give the tailor in your street money to make clothes for you. You have added to his economy. If you import a jean from somewhere outside the continent, you have given that money away. So yeah, that's really the concept of the AfCFTA.
I really think we're not ready for conversations like this because, growing up, even as an adult, I would see people make things here in Lagos and they would label it made in China. I think it's just my thoughts anyways. It needs to do some sort of complete overhauling of our mindset. You see a product, the label made in Nigeria, and then you would rather go for a made in whatever product that you made in Nigeria product. So one of the most popular ones was, I remember when Nigeria had this rice saga.
Yeah.
When the borders were shut and the Nigerians were compelled to eat Nigerian rice. I remember vividly that the Nigerian rice was, I think at some point was sold for 20,000 naira, and the foreign rice was sold for about 25,000 naira. And Nigerians were still willing to cut their neck to pay for the foreign rice. So I think we still have a long way to go. That's what I think.
Yeah, but I think the action has to start now because the reason why you are comfortable eating foreign rice is because you have been eating it for so long. I'll give you a very practical example. We all remember that when China came to Africa, people would not like to buy a made in China stuff. Do you remember? Yeah. It was fake. Right? But what they do was they did aggressive marketing. And one thing that people do not know, the reason why some of our local manufacturing firms are not working is because they don't have patronage. So China kept producing. People started buying gradually. And now, the technophone that you have, even my iPhone, was assembled in China. So I think that we need to take conscious, especially we as young people, that see, if I support my brother that is an artisan, I have directly put money into his life. For fashion, for example, where I'm sure that what my friend is wearing was imported. They just took the flour and designed it for us. It was not produced. Was it produced here?
So I don't know about the material, but it was made here.
No. Like that man said, if you buy a material from China and you sew it in Nigeria, it's not
I
made
don't
in
know where the
Nigeria.
material is from.
So that's what I'm saying. We need to have a culture of how do we improve adire making? How do we invest in adire? For young people, I mean, we are not. So we cannot wait. The end overall, we have to just decide that see, every time we import, we're exporting jobs. I think that should be the mindset.
Okay, I raised my hand because of what you said. When you said we're not ready for this conversation, I kind of disagree because I think COVID-19 really opened a lot of us eyes when people that was looked at.
Yeah.
We realized how much things were importing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, even as little as toothpick. They import toothpick. Do you know that?
Yes.
So when COVID-19 and everything was shut down, I think that's when a lot of people, especially me, I realized how much things were imported, and also now that the economy has gone to shit, and now that everything from there is so expensive, we are now forced to, like you said, the rice. We are now forced. How's right in Nigerian rice now?
Exactly. I'm used to Nigerian rice.
In fact, now I prefer it.
Your taste ball has changed.
Yeah. So with the economy and with COVID-19 that has it passed, or with COVID-19 that has passed by God's grace, we are now forced to see the reality of our economy. And I just hope that thank you so much for this documentary. This is the first step, getting awareness out. So that's the first step. Even though these like rural areas, market women, like one of the women that you interviewed said, that some of them don't even have bank accounts. They don't even know. It's just if you're a person and you see them. If you don't see them, they won't sell. So I think awareness is also very important. And that's the first step, awareness. Because most people don't even know. They don't know. Yeah.
Okay, why I said I think we are not ready for this conversation is because I noticed an increase in this dropshipping thing people do. And, I really don't know about it, but I see it everywhere. People say learn how to import from China for 3,000 naira, for 5,000 naira, and it has really increased compared to 5 years back and 6 years back. We have a lot of people doing it, and I think that it's even making us more import reliance than export reliance. Why we might say, okay, I'm making my dress in Nigeria, I'm making my shoes in Nigeria, these things we really use for our everyday day-to-day life, they are not from the country.
Let me give you an example. So my sister said that a company that produces pad just left.
Pad?
Now, I don't know what the market will look like because they said pad, yes, they left Nigeria. I think there's even a pharmaceutical company also that they left. So my worries is that how come these people are leaving and we're not seeing the opportunity in that sector? What are our billionaires doing?
Hi. Sorry, I have something to say. So we are actually, I bought a Nigerian made pad.
What's the name?
What? No, Aya. I have never seen such comfort.
Wow.
Yes, it's long Aya, and it's cheap. AWA. I mean, no, AYA. I mean, you have to check it out. If I knew that would have this conversation, I would have bought some of them and shared to you, especially the big ones. They're awesome. I mean, I like to. What?
I feel like in time it's going to get into the market.
Yes.
I think it's new.
Yes, it's new. You can find them on Instagram. Then yeah. You can find them in Seco Mall.
That's the essence of a film like this. Now we start looking internal. What do we solve? So yes, young people.
Sorry, she was going to say something. Sorry.
Conversation. So I like the documentary because this is something I always talk about, that we import every single thing from other countries, and like we don't even have like a lot of things we do by ourselves in Nigeria. And I think we can actually switch to those. We can actually be exporting things to them over there as well, because there's a lot of things that there's a lot of natural resources in Nigeria, a lot of things that we can actually get our hands on and actually do great things. There are people doing great things in the tech ecosystem. There are people doing great things in different sectors of the economy. Yeah. But most of them don't really try to, how would I put it, try to push it. Let me just put it like that. They just like, okay, let me just do it just for myself. They don't really push this product out or this or their market out. And also, I feel like it's going to help the economy a great deal if we stop importing things, because the amount of money we use to import things is outrageous. If we are going to be
with the dollar,
really honest. The dollar rate is really high, and you see people importing things. That's why anytime you just go to the market, even rice now, everything, they said everything has increased. Whether it was imported or it wasn't imported, they just say, oh, it's the dollar. Yeah, so I feel like if we are doing things like importing things, not only in Nigeria, even in Africa as a whole, we should actually help each other. There are some things that might be in Congo that would be beneficial to someone in Nigeria as well. So at the end of the day, like what I just watched, she said something about having that sometimes you can have a license in Nigeria and you go over there and they might and they'll be like, oh, you need to redo it again. So I think that all those obstacles have to be removed.
So that's what the AfCFTA are addressing. So that now it's something they call certificate of origin. So if you have that, you are able to move. So with that certificate you can move. And I'm happy that we as young people are now having this kind of conversation. What I would do eventually is that we would amplify our voices so that people who are selling to elective positions will understand that we want to be productive. I was telling my friends that in tech, I was telling them that how come everybody is doing financial technology? Nobody's talking about nobody's talking about how do we
make toothbrush?
No, toothbrush. Even cassava. What can we do apart from Gary with cassava?
The only discussions around agrotech, I feel like it's just making mouth. Like it's just, I don't even know how to break it down, because I've had this conversation before with my cousin, and we talked about fintech, and then we sort of like branched into like agrotech. And I was talking about the fact that a lot of people have ideas, but they don't know how to implement or carry these things out. And I'm also going to point out the fact that when we say we're importing, do you guys even realize what we import from outside are like the inferior products? Like we don't get the best. I'm not joking. Kellogg's, for instance. If you look at Kellogg's, for instance, do you know there's a Nigerian brand and then there's the abroad brand? And I'm going to be honest with you, even the so-called abroad brand is inferior, because when you eat theirs, and then when you eat the one that they call abroad, for us, you see the difference in quality.
Another example about pad. Always
like Nigerian.
And when I found out about what's pad, because it was getting people sick and giving them that, what's that?
CSS, toxic shock.
Yeah, toxic shock.
Do you know that? Really? I have a problem with always pad, and I stopped using it for
always
years.
pad that she was using in UK.
My friend brought out like the always she got in Dubai, she brought it. And then I compared, and I'm like, what is this rubbish? I'm talking about it is so, like, it is flat. There is no absorption, the whole latex thing, I know it is so frustrating. And then I think I switched to cotton. And I'm not even sure if the cotton pads I use are Nigerian made or not. It is the fact that we import these things and they are still even inferior. Like, they are not the type. And then on Twitter, the time someone came and said she got toxic shock from using all this, and I'm like, are you joking? I thought tampons were the only problem, and it was not just one person. So why the hell are we even importing these things in the first place? But then I do know that we have our own problems, like we have our own issues that we have to address to start with. In your documentary, somebody was talking about the fact that she has perishable goods, and then so many factors are stopping it along the way, and then before you get to your target audience, you are running out of losses already. Because I mean, maybe pineapple that she gets market in like a day or two, it doesn't get until like 10 days. Sorry, I'm going to round up fast. And then there was one time somebody on Twitter was talking about the fact that tubers of yam nuts was like so cheap, and then he was thinking, why did you not bring, like, why can't they transport down here? And then this person was talking about the fact that roadblocks, as in police stops, not even people that should actually demand money. The number of settlements you will do, by the time you get to Lagos, you are running at loss. Both your gain and your cost price, everything is gone. We don't even have good roads to start with. Like, also, there are so many things, like, there are so many issues that need to be addressed when it comes. It's almost as if we are doing ourselves.
It's always all these police people. Like now, my grandpa's burial, we wanted to bring rice from Lagos to Osho State. You know that they had to repackage the rice into small packages and put them in different cars because they cannot carry a whole bag. They will stop you and police will tell you where's their own. From that, where's their own? They've taken.
Honestly, then you have to do all sorts of things.
Everybody, where's their own?
So that's why I think, sorry I'm butting in.
Yeah.
That's why I think as young people, we should move this conversation into this online space and start pushing for how come we are crying over big institutions leaving the continent, leaving Nigeria, leaving Nigeria. Why are we not seeing the opportunity in them leaving, that now we can now make parts? Like I was just learning that higher part is made in Nigeria. I would like to know what you see.
And there's also that thing of, have you ever seen a broadcast that say, oh, don't use this pad, it's 90 people used it in Kano and they died, something. I feel like maybe it's like a rival kind of like problem. Then I also have this conspiracy theory of the West will do anything in their power to crumble Africa, to keep Africa where it is. Because I remember, to keep Africa independent. Because I remember one time that during the old Gaddafi thing and the old Libya thing and all of that, and everybody, like, it was until much later I realized Gaddafi was not all that, like, it was painted to be and all, like, for his country people. And the fact that, like, they were thriving and all of that. And I think they said the main reason why Gaddafi had to go, or why they started attacking him at the time they started attacking, was because he wanted Africa to have like a unified currency, the way Euro is and all of that. Like, he wanted to bridge that gap, and I feel like that would actually boost our economy, our currency and all of that. But I don't think the West would, I don't know, they would find a way to attack that. But then regardless, we can still always work against that.
Alright, thank you very much everyone. We really have to wrap up the conversation, and thank you so much, Mr. Adiwichi. Thank you.
Yeah.